Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have over here in the bottom left spawning on Glittering Ashing, playing for Team Kwadong Freaks. It's going to be Trap. And in the top right, as our yellow Terran player playing for Team SpeCial Gaming, it will be none other than SpeCial. Best of 3 over here, starting on Glittering Ashes. We have SpeCial proxying that first barracks on the high ground already. An exciting start of this game. This is the in-betweener. He's not quite on the other side of the map. It's not in an extremely aggressive position, but also not at home. Not at the third base or at the fourth perhaps. So it's a little bit different. This means that it doesn't have the real advantages of either, but it also doesn't have the real disadvantages of either. And imagine you were to build a barracks over here. The main advantage being is the rush distance of your Reaper into your opponent's main base. So you're just going to hit a little bit quicker. However, your barracks takes a very long time to fly back home, meaning that the barracks with the reactor will be a lot later, and thus your marine count will be a lot lower than it usually should be. Now, if you build your barracks initially in this location, your Reaper arrives really late, but you will be capable of floating that barracks back in the main base, getting the reactor, and getting a pretty decent marine count. So right now this is kind of in the middle. We don't have the fastest Reaper rush. We're still arriving a solid 10-12 seconds faster than usually. This is a quick adapt, by the way. It's not like the core was faster than any other time. Or at least it wasn't intended to be. It's not like this was a 13 pylon, 14 gate. It's just I think Trap microed his workers really well, because this adept was really tight on the money when it comes to the timing. So impressive little start. I'm not so sure what Trap is following up with here. He's getting a third pylon already. That's going to delay his nexus even further. I think that Trap might actually be in a little bit of trouble. I do not like, as a Protoss player, delaying my nexus until my opponent builds the command center if you're playing against a proxy Rex Reaper, because the Terran tech is going to be so extremely good in these type of situations. I mean, we're just looking at a Cyclone over here already. Oh, enjoy, your Oracle sending that in towards his death, if you do end up sending it in. It's just not a great start. We have a second barracks coming up already, a third barracks going down as well. This is just a proper crap situation right now here for Trap, and the only thing that could really save him is if his Oracle actually ends up dealing a little bit of damage. But I don't really see that happening, because this Cyclone is here. There of course is a world in which this Cyclone decides to move across the map and Trap kills it, but that seems somewhat unlikely as well, honestly. I'm just not really feeling that. There is a mine on the way. We have a second gateway being built. There's 2 adepts, a zealot and an oracle. Walk into a bar. And the bartender says, hey, here's a mine. Tsh! The zealot explodes. It's not a great joke and there's no punchline. But it might just be what's going to end up happening here. You have a tank on the way already. I love that SpeCial decides to not build a tech lab yet and says, hey, I actually want to get 1 extra marine first before I get that tech lab. It's important to me that I have enough units to defend against any type of early game shenanigans, because I know that you delayed your nexus for quite a while. I scouted that initially with my Reaper. So SpeCial's playing a very passive, very defensive game. We even see another marine coming out. I really don't mind this whatsoever. I actually think this is good. All of this makes a lot of sense to me. There's also a starport on the way already. We should really see the tech lab now though. We should also see Stim starting probably a couple of seconds ago already. I'm a bit surprised we haven't quite seen that yet. Zealot took a bit of damage. Blink is on the way as well as a third base here. Take a look at that income though, or take a look at least at the worker count. It's only 6 in favor of Trap. That's not really enough at this stage of the game. You want to be up probably a little bit more. SpeCial's infrastructure is also very solid here already. That mine's going to explode on the, I think, the incorrect unit. You don't really want it to explode on the zealot majority of the time. No retargeting though. This is an absolutely hopeless fight here for Trap. Despite killing that mine initially, this is not going to be capable of doing anything whatsoever. 2 oracles literally have done nothing yet. Look at that. 0 kills, 0 kills. These are the idiot brothers. And they're not going to be capable of doing anything. Ooh. Oh. Combat Shield Liberator. Okay. So this is not going to be a regular stim timing with double medevac. This is a tank attack. This is a tank all in. I had not seen that coming at all. It felt like SpeCial was in a perfect position here just to do a standard attack. The problem with this type of attack that he's doing right now is that it can be kited back. Stasis wards are going to be really effective, obviously. And you're on a way bigger timer than you ever would be if you were to play something like a stim. Yeah, this is going to be a stasis ward hit. Big hit, very important. One tank is going to be taken out of the equation. Stalker's just chilling on the high ground here. Another stasis ward is going to explode. Trap not really paying attention though. This tank in the back might get sniped by these stalkers. SpeCial needs to be careful. I do not like this position for SpeCial. At the same time, the oracles are going in for a little bit of a base trade as well. This is just really, really painful for the Mexican Terran player currently. 4 more stalkers being warped in, going up to 13 stalkers right now. And just like that, from an almost unlosable game into what to me seems like an almost unwinnable game. There's still 3 tanks, sure. But this Liberator did not quite achieve what it wanted to achieve. This tank might get picked up in the back. There's no stim. Good blink forward. Takes out that tank. Double shots. Yep, double shots here on the Stalkers. That's something. At least there is a battery in the natural though. There's a battery at the 3rd base. There's still Oracles alive as well. One behind the mineral line. Actually, there's just one Oracle alive, I guess. The other one must have fallen. There's 13 Stalkers. Charge about to finish up. This has been an absolute disaster here for SpeCial after an unbelievably good start. Kind of throwing it away with this push, honestly. It's not over. It definitely isn't over. SpeCial is going to keep moving forward, though. Charge slots coming in. Stim's about to finish up in 20 seconds from now as well. 2 tanks are still sieged up. Super battery gets popped here, and perhaps it is still possible. Blink Stalkers blinking in will take out the 1st tank, will take out the 2nd tank as well. That means that there is now no more splash available. And with all these batteries still alive, life is just going to get harder and harder here for SpeCial. Stim did just finish up. There is a single medevac with this as well. The damage output of these Marines is absolutely bananas. 2 more Stalkers and Pro Pool against Marines. I'm not so sure about that, but Trap seems to be. He's going to lose every single worker on the 3rd base. Some more Stalkers are coming in from the back. We're lacking the production, it seems like. Only have 6 gateways. Only had 5 just a second before. Liberator's going to siege up. This game is a lot closer than I thought it would be after I saw those Stalkers go to town on every single unit. We have another warp in. 3 more Stalkers, 1 more Zealot. Tank is staying alive for now. Good control on this medevac. He surely played the StarCraft Master Arcade. And Trap eventually is going to push this back. Still on 57 workers. Probably some oversaturation from the main. Yep, is going to get transferred over towards that 3rd base right now. Not the greatest fight for Trap. I really thought he was going to crush this in a bigger way after he stalled out the push for so long. After he shaved off so many units. Just time after time again. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It does feel like right now he managed to secure a position that should be almost unlosable. I mean, there's seven gateways already, I believe. There's even 8 gateways already. 2 more on the way, so it's going to be 10 gates. 3 base saturation against a 2 base Terran who doesn't even have barracks 4 and 5 yet. There's still no tech lab or reactor on this barracks either, so that is definitely hurting SpeCial in this case. That really is just hurting him. This Marine drop is going to land in the main base, and there is a bit of a dark spot in the main as well, which means that it can be unloaded. Completely unloaded before it gets spotted. Now starts running in. Trap not with a quick response. Recall is good. And we have a pickup. There wasn't too many Stalkers. 5 probes will end up falling. SpeCial's getting his +1s, getting his tanks. I really like Templar Archives in this type of scenario. I just have to say it. I think this is the perfect call. And I almost believe that you don't really want to be getting any Archons. The Archons are kind of like an emergency play here. So you start your storm, you get your Templar out, and the moment you see your opponent move out, you're like, hey, I don't actually think I can get the storm or I can get the Archons. You can always cancel the storm and just morph the Templar into Archons. I know I said Archons, I meant to say High Templar initially. They're all the same. Archons are made out of Templar, so I'm fine still. Yeah, it's going to be 22 Zealots right now against 41 Marines. 3 Templar. That's an absolute game changer. Storm is such a quick upgrade to research as well. You throw like 2 chrono boost on it, and just like that, it's legit, what is it, like 60-ish seconds or so? Like a minute upgrade. It's really, really good. If you throw a third one on there, you lower it by even 7 more seconds. I think it ends up being like 52 seconds, I think. If you chrono boost it properly every single time. Yeah, this fight is just going to be impossible for Special to take. You're working with a pure Marine army against Storm. Like, unless Trap misses every single Storm, this is just not going to be a fight that's possible. I love that the SCVs are being pulled as well. The boys being pulled from the line, this obviously is not going to be doing it. And they just die against Storm as well. 4 tanks will set up in the back. I love this Zealot run by because this is going to force Special's hand a little bit more. It's like, hey, you need to attack into me quicker because reinforcements will just not be arriving anymore. Not a single Storm has been used yet. And once again, I'm a huge fan of that play. Fort base is about to finish up as well. Armor, well, about halfway done. If Trap can stall till armor is done, that would be absolutely huge. I do love how patient Special still is being, despite him being in major trouble at home. SCVs are being pulled off the line a little bit too slow. I think these depots might just end up falling. At the same time, we have this 1 tank being sent forward, flank coming in out of Trap. Trap actually struggling mightily with this position right now. The control out of Special is fantastic. Look at that. Spanning multiple screens. He's just kind of microing everything back right now. These tanks on the low ground will stay alive. This has not been great for Trap so far. Trap not really getting what he wants. That is a wasted Storm. But he almost has 2 Storms per Templar at this point. And in that case, you can waste 1 Storm. As long as the 2 others are still there. So we're currently, I think, on 7-ish Storms or so. It's just going to be so hard. If 1 Storm connects with the army, like, even this is too much already. Now we got the flank coming in, 156 supply against 97. Tank on the high ground will get taken out. Storms are going to land on the tank. Storms are going to land, well, nothing else. Wasn't even necessary. GG gets called. Trap wins game number 1. And we'll be heading into the second one. Here we are in game number 2 between Special and Trap. In the bottom right we have our blue Protoss player Trap up 1-0. And in our top left we have a Special, our yellow Terran player, who needs to do something slightly different from that last game. Honestly, his opener was completely fine, and Special believes so as well, as he's going to once again open up with a proxy barracks here initially. I really do like this, because the problem wasn't in the opener. He actually got in a good spot in the opener. You know, he was in a good economical position. He was up in supply by a lot, until he started losing like 50 Marines while walking across the map and running into a stasis ward. Life was pretty sweet for Special. However, Trap eventually did manage to make that hold and win that game number 1. A little bit frustrating. So I'm curious to see what Special exactly has planned for us. For now, it just seems to be a double gas opener. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. Trap, however, what are you going to be doing? Will we once again see that Zealot Cybernetics core response? I think so. Yep, there we go. Zealot gets built here. And that means that there will be some significant, very significant delay on the Nexus in the natural. Ooh. Okay. It's going to be a factory here. That is somewhat interesting. And at this point, Trap should be aware that something weird is happening because, well, there's no factory in the wall. If there's no factory at home, the factory needs to be on the map. Trap right now has seen that. He is aware of this fact. He's kind of scouting around the main base, like, hey, what's going on here? What is going on here, buddy? And this probe right now needs to actually be going wild. It needs to check every single corner of this map. Reaper's going to get in towards the main base, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Will not be capable of getting anything so far. Hasn't even dealt a single shot yet. Somewhat surprising. Special seemed to be more keen on figuring out what Trap was doing rather than anything else. And that makes some sense because he's actually flying the factory in towards the main base. I was thinking it's either going to be flying the factory in towards the main base, or it is like a factory into starport type of deal where you drop 3 Hellions at like extremely high speed because it's so close to your opponent's main base. The Reaper is just there to check whether there's a place to land. It's like an undercover agent. It's like, alright boys, we've seen the corner. There's no pylon there, we're good to go. Double Reaper once again going to start jumping in towards the main base. And I love that SpeCial's being so aggressive with this as well. Because he wants to distract his opponent. His opponent is not allowed to think for a second. His opponent is not allowed to figure out what's going on. This first mine is starting to walk in. Let's take a look at that response out of trap. Sees this mine. Okay, pull away the worker. Sends in one. Still going to get a good splash. 3 workers are going to fall. No, 2 workers are going to fall against this mine. So probably something happened in the natural as well against the Reaper. Triple Reaper boys will start jumping up in towards this base right now. This mine, of course, is invisible because of the armory that must have finished. This does not feel good whatsoever here. Oh! Does end up getting that Zealot, which is a big... Or getting that mine with the Zealot, which is a very big deal. There's a new mine on the way soon. And this one will shoot once more. I think it might be capable of shooting again before the observer pops out. I really do believe so. One of those Reapers gets taken out. SpeCial currently up 5 workers already. 3 racks as the follow-up. This is an absolutely banging build here for the Mexican Terran player. Oh! And another mine hit. Oh no, he chrono boosted the robo, but didn't actually build an observer. This is going to be a big hit here. Look at this. Whoop, that's 3. That is 3 indeed. 9 worker kills total so far. 7 worker kills on that one mine. Another mine starts moving in. I honestly believe Trap almost needs to leave the game at this point. So here comes one more. For a second I was afraid he's going to splash that observer. That's absolutely the worst feeling in the world. When you finally get your detection and then you fly it into the mine. Sometimes have it with an oracle as well. You get too excited with the oracle, you fly it in the mine. You get one revelation of and then it dies. And 150 down the drain. It's not quite what you want, I can tell you that much. Bunker is going to be constructed here on the high ground. I honestly wouldn't have minded that being on the low ground. The unit count for Trap is so small that I don't really think there's a point in trying to hold the high ground being SpeCial here. I just think there's no way that with these, 4 or 5 stalkers that Trap has, he would ever be capable of breaking a low ground bunker. Like a single SCV repairing would be enough. There's 2 Marauders out as well at the same time. It's like, hey, you're gonna have concussive shell. I guess it's a good safety measure though. SpeCial's playing it safe. It means he knows how far ahead he is. But it's going to make securing that low ground just a tiny bit harder. This Adept should probably not be finishing up here. I do not believe that should be the case. It's going to finish up, and as a result it dies. I do believe there has to be a bunker. Or, well, has to be. I think having a bunker here would definitely help. At least in my mind. Blink is going to finish up, as that might allow Trap to do a little bit of kiting here. The problem for Trap is just that Stim is really, really quick this time around. There's a medevac out already as well. Concussive Shell is going to be helping out. Oh my god, I love that move so much. I don't think I've actually ever seen that before. He drops the Marauders to chase the Stalkers so that he can hit Concussive Shells. Because the movement speed of the medevac, especially when boosted, is so much higher than what Marauders have by themselves. That was a very cool move. That actually was a really cool move. This is pain as well. This is actual pain. This is what pain feels like. And SpeCial is going to continue moving in. As Trap is not ready for this. Trap's battery is just now done, but there's too many Marauders. Battery gets targeted down in 2-3 volleys. More Stalkers will get taken out. Probes are starting to fall right now. These units, I like the warp in, but there's no charge yet. So these are slow Zealots right now being warped. GG gets called. Trap says, I can't hold no more. As SpeCial takes game number 2. Here we are in game number 3, to be played on Blackburn. And for the first time in this best of 3, we don't have an SCV making its way on the map yet. Now this could mean that there's going to be a barracks proxy in either the natural or the third base. But more likely that it's not going to be a proxy barracks and that SpeCial instead decides to open up with something that I call a little more standard. Barracks into a single gas. Ooh. Alright, maybe I was wrong. He builds the barracks on the left side of his base. So it's like a semi-hidden barracks. This could still go into double gas. This could also be single gas. And I've seen SpeCial. Okay, now he's rallying to the second gas. This is a very poorly hidden barracks. But if Trap decides to not scout there, this could be a barracks placement with big consequences. This is actually pretty dangerous here for Trap. Because this is in the main base. It's in the main base and you need to figure it out. If you don't figure out what it is in time, you're going to be in trouble. So right now Trap sees it. Oh my god, he's immediately going to be scouting it. This is a great start here for Trap. Trap now knows that he does not need a Zealot whatsoever. He can just get that core first, throw down the Nexus, skip the Zealot and get a standard Nexus timing, while his opponent is going to have a very delayed command center. Yes, the tech is going to be faster, but the trick did not work, and that's usually the entire point of the trick, is that it works. Now, this SCV, where does it want to go? It should probably be building a factory somewhere. No, factory's going to be built here on the bottom side. Oh, Trap, this is a double trick here. This is a double trick. Trap spots that there is no factory in the main base, and we remember what happened last time. We remembered what happened last time. Usually this factory is always built in the wall. This is a very confusing thing, and immediately, yeah, we see Trap changing tempo here. He says, okay, if that's the case, I'm going to scout around my base. I want to figure out where that factory is located, because it isn't in your wall. So where can it be? Well, this is cool. So it's like a mind game plus a mind game. It's a double mind game. This is going to end up going into, I think, a pretty quick starport as well. So maybe double heli and into starport. Is that the plan here? Ooh, straight away that starport being thrown down. And then, of course, the money will be kind of tight here initially. That is just how this build order works, and we cannot help that. It's going to be a mine drop. Don't think we're going to get any armories involved here. Does not feel like there's enough gas for that. For an armory and a medevac. I could be mistaken. This is the best case scenario, by the way, for Trap. Still the best case scenario. Getting that blind Stargate against this type of opener is absolutely fantastic. Whether it's Phoenix or Oracle doesn't really matter too much. As a first unit, you do need eventually to get some Phoenixes. That is important. It's going to be Phoenix first. I actually believe that this is the best case scenario. Like, by far the best case scenario. You have a pylon being built here. Now, this is to spot any potential move outs of perhaps Hellions, but also a Marine Cyclone push could be spotted by this pylon. Will give Trap a very quick warning signal. Or it could give Trap a headache, because the entire time this thing is going to be blinking red on the minimap. Our forces are under attack. Our pylon is under siege. That type of stuff, which is not ideal either. I actually think that's what's going to end up happening. 2 Marines and SCV will take it out. So 100 mineral was wasted, but is it really wasted if you enjoyed wasting your time? And no, then it's time well spent. Armory actually is going to finish up in a little bit from now. I'm not quite sure if these mines will benefit too much from it. This armory is still 4 or 5 seconds away. First shot, second shot, third shot. Here come more lifts, here come more lifts. No! All of them become invisible right now. This means that an Oracle needs to be built here as a follow-up. This is, once again, a good opener here for SpeCial. This is a very good opener even for SpeCial. I wouldn't mind if he can somehow get this mine, yep, somewhere else. Perfect stuff. Absolutely beautiful. Because this way, a single Oracle will not be capable... Oh my god, this matter of fact got spotted, no? No, it didn't. A single Oracle will not be capable of putting the Revelation on every mine at the same time. At least I don't think so, right? It's just going for one. Surely that's a mistake. At the same time, this medevac heading in towards the natural. All mines get lifted, bar one. I don't think this mine is in range of anything, though. Trap is still going to give up one of his probes for this. Oh, second mine gets taken out. No. SpeCial's trying to run this away. Might actually be able to get away with it. Oh, no. Another big mine hit. I think this game might actually be over. If this gets a burrow in, especially. Burrow? Hello? Can we burrow it? Can we burrow this or what? We need to burrow, no? Why is he just running? What is this? Oh, he's going to get lifted up eventually. This mine will get taken out as well by the second Oracle that just popped. This is a terrible, terrible situation, though, for Trap. He is basically equal in workers. Does he have... Ooh, this is a low medevac. If this medevac gets spotted and killed, that could be big. But if the medevac gets in, that is going to be big, period. I'd love to see a turret in the main base. You know that there is 2 oracles because you've seen multiple revelations being casted at the same time. Oh, this medevac is just going to be hiding in the top left corner. I love this so much. Bunker is up in time. Turret in the natural is going to be fine as well. I think SpeCial is in a pretty decent spot here. The tech is late for trap. Supply looks good for trap, but the supply is a lie. This is mainly consisting of gateway units and Stargate units, which don't actually fight well against stimmed units. Infrastructure is going to be complete garbage. Upgrades will be late. Like, I think we're going to have a situation in which stim and combat will probably finish before charge even, depending a bit on how many chronos get sunk into the charge. Maybe it's going to actually finish at exactly the same time. It would be kind of funny. There's too much in the main base as well. I don't think this can be taken out. Here comes the mine drop. It's not going to get spotted. Let's take a look at that first person view here out of trap. Is he aware of what's going on right now? Sees it happening on the mini-map. Immediately pulls his stalkers in the correct position. But will not be in time with his air units. Not to stop it from landing at least. Another mine goes down. Let's get picked up. The medevac flies away. Trap probably wants to be chasing that. Oh, some retarget on the Oracle. Oh my god, beautiful stuff here, SpeCial. Definitely worth it. The medevac is going to be sitting in the top left corner right now. And at the same time, a double drop. Ooh, this is not a very powerful drop though. Is heading towards the main base. This is too little units. This just gets killed by the Phoenixes and the Oracles. And like, well, actually, oh, without stim though. Yeah, without stim, this is not quite what you want. Medevacs are going to boost back home. That painful loss here for SpeCial. That also just wasn't necessary. If these were 2 full medevacs and your stim was done, I can kind of see it, but it takes way too long to deal damage without stim, so there's really no point. Now this one medevac does manage to escape. We still have this medevac from earlier that dropped the mines that also managed to escape. It's going to get some new passengers. Rather explosive ones. They might get picked off by these Phoenixes though. That would not be good. This medevac, I'm not quite sure what it was. A scouting medevac, I assume. SpeCial once again setting up for a timing attack. I would not mind seeing a Ghost Academy being thrown down here, by the way. So just a quick Ghost Academy. You're already getting barracks 4 and 5. You already have your 3rd base done. I think that really the only way you're going to kill such a charge lot gateway army is going to be with Ghost. Otherwise, it's just going to be really, really tricky, even if you do have mines. These 2 mines are not going to achieve too much. This is a good trade here for Trap. He will end up picking off 2 of these mines and lose only 2 workers. Of course, also lose a little bit of mining time, but that's not the end of the world. Phoenix count continues growing. This is why I'm saying, hey, a Ghost Academy here would be fantastic. Because the more Phoenixes there are, the better Ghosts become, right? They take out the energy, they clear all the shields. As long as Colossi are not out, Ghosts are the king in this matchup. Absolutely the case. Or Disruptors. Even against Colossi they're kind of good. You do really need Disruptors if the Bio army becomes too strong. Especially with like decent-ish upgrades. I don't think there's a single upgrade yet. No, there's +1 armor, my apologies, for Trap. That's going to allow him to maybe dish out some big damage here. There's 4 mines on the high ground. These Phoenix getting way too much damage on these medevacs. Oh, this 3rd base is going to get absolutely destroyed here. Every single SCV is getting taken out. At the same time, I think we had a mine drop in the natural. And we also had a mine in the main base. I think SpeCial is... I don't want to say that he's dying, but this does not look good for him whatsoever. A lot of these mines are going to be connecting with the Zealots. Army supply is pretty close. I think that the final thing here that SpeCial can now still do is to build those 2-3 ghosts, pull all your workers and go for the all-in. Because it is obvious to me and to everyone that's paying attention that you're not going to be capable of macroing out of this. Like, we don't even have any worker production right at this moment. I think that is the correct call as well. Everything should be focused in these units. I thought we had a Ghost Academy already, yeah. Okay, Ghosts are building right now. They need to come out. They need to hit before RoboBay units pop out. It's just absolutely vital to the success of this push. We have 4 Templar on the way. Do we have Storm? No, we don't have Storm. Prism and 4 Templar, no Storm. It's an odd combination to see. Instead it's going to be Archons here. We do have a relatively big bio ball. We also have 7 mines already. And you're going to be adding in the Ghost into this equation. Especially if Trap wants to attack into this. I don't think that is the correct call. It might work because his army is so big, but I'm not quite sure if this is necessary here. Trap, he is going to go for it. Mine's not in position. EMP is not going to land. Gets lifted before the EMP gets used, and that's going to change this battle drastically here. Mines will connect with a lot of these Zealots, but it seems like SpeCial is just kind of bleeding out here. Losing 5 more SCVs, gets the bunker taken out as well. Medavacs need to boost home towards the natural. Now this base is probably not going to fall, but it's going to be pretty darn close. Storm being researched, Immortals on the way. At this point, yeah, SpeCial too much of a supply deficit. We'll need to tap out. Trap will win the series 2-1. Pretty entertaining series with lots of build orders in which I felt like SpeCial actually got the lead in the early game, but just could not find that mid-game damage to kind of pounce on the early game lead. And that's a pity. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you all next time for a new video. Bye bye.